discuss. Character sus, a dude I can't trust, cause he not like us. My heart can get black as the moon, black as the melanin in my skin. I'm still healing from wounds, so Lord forgive me if I sin. I can't help but choose violence on the daily. I'm him, I refuse to lose, so don't make me repeat it again. When I reunite the culture, the vultures are not impressed. Dropping bombs on them like I'm obsessed. Kill them off with no emotion, like I got a hole in my chest. I'm the king and I'm taking the crown back to the west.
Come again, you the king? Nah. You need to turn your sound down. Putting rap on your back. Please. You just snatching crowns now. You know my big bro cold could've beat your ass around town, but I'm the wolf at the door, so you dealing with me now. Why they came back around? Cause this boy got a loud mouth. He got the bag now, but that's nothing to brag about. Sound blast in the background, in the cut like I cut pounds. You in uptown, I'm from down south. I smell fear like a bloodhound. Why the hell your draws looking so brown? Put that crown down, I'm liable to crash out. If they don't give me mine, hit you with my streamline. Send my 50 times. The crown ain't yours, but yo, I can't blame you for trying. Big bro showed us the way, and now I'm making sure I'm next in line. Y'all think you're deep? I need the crown like I need to breathe. I need respect, I got people to feed. I get that W by any means. Of course, a king, I do not disagree, but understand I'm out of your league. Enough is enough. You think you up next? Please, I roll you up like I'm smoking some trees. Make me too mad and I'm making you bleed. If they try running, I'm breaking their knees. I made them fall like some autumn leaves. I'm not the king yet, but I'm planting the seeds. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. I do not stutter. There's no in between. If I enter the ring, then I'm making a scene. Then I'm making them scream.
If y'all got a few problems, I feel bad for your son. I got 99 problems, but being a bitch ain't one. Rock Nation Empire, blueprint in the vault. Every brick I flip turned to gold, that's all I know.
Whoever putting money on my head, they surviving. You ain't getting rich off me, but homie, you could die trying. I'm the undefeated king of queens, getting straight dubs. My bulletproof vest about to be covered in your blood. If you talk smack, get clapped, diced up and slaughtered. Y'all, you looking kinda pale, need some vitamin water, dog. Heed the prophecy, you don't know what's on the line. Ignoring signs of summon the destruction of space and time.
Give a damn about your prophecy, you ain't seen what I saw. The Illmatic Oracle, been him since 94. Most critically acclaimed, my style second to none. You talking about kings in the presence of God's son. I hear you prophesize, but do you see the big picture? I pen scrolls and shadows where the street lights flicker. Flow like hieroglyphic scripture, make the weak hearts quiver. Now I flow so cold it'll make Lucifer shiver.
Here we go, shaking stadiums, the shady spit this flow. Do they know? If you piss me off, I'll go ballistic, bro. These kings look like bozos. I'm wondering if I should snatch that gold. Hell no, that's just a joke. What's a king to a rap god, yo? Shady to see to the 8 miles, and my jutsu ain't no need for combs. Get so close, I'll lose my shit and carve my name onto your bones. Leos, my comatose, believe I'm not here to save souls. I'm going in until I know the prophecy wanna fall as foretold.
I grip the steel barrel, kissing your dome piece. Down in the pike like a heavyweight. I'm obese cause I eat beats.
Hello, how's everyone doing? Y'all know what time it is. It is Sunday, a bit late, but it's Sunday nonetheless. Welcome everybody once again to another edition of the Space Sheriff Gav-sudan. The only show where we take a look up into the deep depths of space and wondering what the hell they doing over there. I'm, of course, your host with the most, the mercenary with the kicks, coming to you from 2286. Call Say Henshin, coming to you live once again. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather. But we're not going to let that stop us, because Gavan waits for no man. But I think we need to take a moment. I think we need just a moment of silence, if you will. As a few days ago, we lost the GOAT himself. Or at least the GOAT in the standard of Gavan.
Henshin.
Asmi Nopu, thank you for joining the Henshin Corps. Please claim your locker in our barracks at your earliest convenience. Thank you. But I'd like to take a moment of silence right now. As you guys may or may not know, a few days ago we lost the progenitor, the original Gavan. Kenji Oba unfortunately lost his battle with his health issues and unfortunately has passed away. If it were not for him, we would not have Gavan Infinity now. He was the original Gavan who started off what could be considered, quite possibly, one of the top 5 tokus in Japan alongside Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Super Sentai back in the 80s. A real trailblazer, if you will. He loved being Gavan and would play the role any opportunity that was granted to him. He was Gavan, the original Gavan, up until the very end. So I think a moment of silence is needed as we pay respects to the original Gavan, Kenji Oba. Rest in peace, my friend. The name Gavan may not have become a big deal here in the States. There were a couple of attempts, but not with Gavan, but with Spielban. If you guys remember VR Troopers back in the day, Spielban and Diana were in that. They were space sheriffs. But Gavan never really got a foothold here in the US. But in Japan, that name is respected. The name Gavan comes with a legacy. A legacy that tried to come back from time to time because people wanted it. The original series leading up to the spin-offs, then the movie in 2014, the subsequent trilogy special, the Space Squad, and now Gavan Infinity. Gavan is that name that will never go quietly into the night. Nor should it. Gavan is a testament to the will of the people. it's a testament to how different it was from other tokusatsus that it stood out upon its own. While it could not build a legacy akin to that of a Super Sentai or a Kamen Rider, Gavan still held its place in the hearts of many. In the pantheon of tokusatsu, there was only one. Kenji Oba was that Gavan. Very rarely, he was only ever replaced once by a new generation Gavan in 2014, alongside Sharivan and Scheider. But Kenji Oba never forgot who he was, never forget what made Gavan. He was Gavan until the very end. May he rest in peace. But I do believe that if there was ever a fitting tribute for him, Gavan Infinity is it. While it still does its own thing, it still follows very much a lot of the DNA that made Gavan what it is. There's a love, appreciation for the original Gavan in Gavan Infinity. The legacy will not go down without a fight. Such is the story of Gavan. It's only appropriate that we honor his legacy by honoring the new works, by honoring what we have. So let us proceed with this week's episode of Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity. So, as we are now in the halfway point of the series, by the entire looks of it, a little past it, we're about 10 episodes away from the ending, because Omega Horn is scheduled to start in July, I believe. So time is running out for them to wrap up this story. Time is running out for them to wrap up Gavan Infinity. There's little time to waste, which is why we're in the midst of Raya, Gavan Raya building a team. He's building a team of Gavans to face the evil that is to come. What does it all mean? It means we got little time to dilly-dally, we got little time to fuck around, even though Gavan's probably going to fuck around. But a team is being built, and we need to do our best. The Gavans have to do their best to make sure they are ready for what lies ahead. So this is Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity, episode 13, the Gavan Kidnapping Case. Here we go. Meanwhile, in the deep reaches of space,
多元地球イオタ5人09のギャバンたちもその対応に追われていた。
Gavan Luminous.
眠いですね。
お腹すいた。
空腹では効率が落ちますよ。
Energy Bar.
あったかいものを美味しく食べたい派なんだ。私。
知ってます。
あとは私やっとくから、キキは先休んでて。
Was that face of concern? Just cut.
何が温かいものを美味しく食べたい派なのですか。栄養補給も効率化の時代ですよ。銀河カツカレー丼です。
Katsudon. Katsudon. Uh-oh.
あなた私が見えますの？
Ghost!
これで会えるわ。大切なあの人に。
It's a ghost! Whoa! What the hell happened there? She's been abducted! Dude, the writer's just amazing. Hey! That salute is still weird to me.
昨夜未明、事件と事故両方の線で捜査を進めています。
事件。状況はこっちにも全部教えて。
これを。
ちょっといいか。
銀河カツカレー丼。私のために？歓喜？もしかして。
Do you know something? Where's our boy? Wait, what the fuck?
これも違う。
あんたってインフィニティじゃない次元超越者？
インフィニティを知る者か。
高成寿、ギャバン・ルミナスの相棒。
What was he looking for in the bushes? I'm confused.
風波区内。
ここで何してたの？
ふんにゃかプニプニ草。
Ah, for fuck's sake.
はい。
探してるのはふんにゃかプニプニ草。この第9地球に入るという幻の薬草。
あ、待って。キキが。ギャバン・ルミナスが事件に巻き込まれてる可能性があるの。一緒に探してくれない？
ギャバンが。
キキの頭にはこの地球のありとあらゆる知識が詰まってるの。だからそのふんにゃかなんとか草がどこに入ってるのかあの子なら知ってるはず。
なるほど。協力了解。
Nice. Wait, what? What is this juxtaposition? Why are we playing dress up? What are we doing right now? I'm confused.
ちょっと何私のお給料勝手に使ってるんですか？
Ah.
体を乗っ取られるなんて予想外です。私お化けではありませんわよ。霊王星人の霊子、静止エネルギー体の宇宙人です。霊王星なんて聞いたことがありません。これが霊王星ですわ。ファンタズマ粒子でできた惑星ですから。
A ghost planet. Are you serious?
霊王星は1年に一度地球に再接近するのです。そこにこの子が飛んできましたので取り付いて送ってもらいましたの。私の体で何するつもりですか？それにしても1年で随分と街の雰囲気が変わりましたのね。人の話を聞いてください。霊子さん。
Okay, this is supposed to be a particular scene that everyone was making jokes about.
1年前のあの日、この星で迷子になっていた私を見つけ、紅茶をご馳走してくれたのがレンタロウさんでした。とっても。
Wait, but you had a corporeal body? Or did you possess somebody else?
でも私、次は1年後にならないと。
The fuck is that mustache?
お待ちしております。玲子さん。
Oh. Okay, so she did possess somebody else a year ago. She's about to be sorely disappointed, I think.
らっしゃいませ。そちらへどうぞ。
はい。あ、これ。
Wait, where'd you get that footage?
なんか変な格好してるけど。
行くか。風波流。高掛け。
Wait, okay, I was expecting a CGI. Okay, never mind. That was kind of cool.
そこまで案じるルミナスとは。知りたい。大いなる戦いに向け、多くのギャバンと仲間になる必要がある。
Oh wait, are we having an episode without Reiji?
モルギアと話ができて、興味を持ったら一直線で、自分が食べることには無頓着。なのに、私の大好物はちゃんと覚えてる。最強で最高な私の大切な相棒。
Are we actually having an episode without Reiji? Without Reiji?
初音？
妹、インフィニティのおかげで取り戻すことができた。今度はルミナスを私が。
ご注文はお決まりでしょうか。
去年と同じ紅茶を。
去年ですか。
約束通り来ました。レイコです。
アイスコーヒーですね。
No, it's not your guy, dude. Dude had a mustache.
レイコです。
ええ、アイスコーヒーのことですよね。レイコーって。
レイコーじゃなくてレイコ。まさか。
That's not the guy!
あの約束。
約束ですか。
もしかして私が見えなくなってしまったのですか、レンタロウさん。
申し訳ありません。僕の名前はレンです。
この日を1年間ずっと待ち続け。
Oh my god, no, 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 no.
こんなのひどすぎますわ。
Wrong person!
レイコさん、どうしちゃったんですか？レイコさん。
レジ。
Oh, there he is.
エモルギーネガティブ波動を感知した。よし。
I thought it would be too good to be true. I was saying last week it would be cool if they did an episode without him. And I was like, are we really going there? And I'm like, oh. No, he can't be far. He can't be too far.
あれってメガエモルギア？
私が救う。
Like, I was almost like ecstatic. Like, don't get me wrong, I love that Reiji's gonna be here. But like, I think an episode without him would have been interesting. Oh. There's our boy.
なんだ、季節外れのお化け屋敷か？キキはどうしたって言うんだ？びくともしない。
メガエモルギーの暴走だ。今解析する。
あ、わかった。
私がギャバンならキキを助けられるのに。
Wait, are we making the power interchangeable?
本当にそうなのでしょうか？なんか変です。それにしても1年で随分と街の雰囲気が変わりましたのね。
申し訳ありません。僕の名前はレンです。
冥王星は1年に一度地球に最接近するのです。
Analyze.
もしかして
ギャバリオンのネド。
There's gonna be like invisible, like it's like one of those like invisible chalkboards you see on CSI with like.
解析結果出ました。暴走したメガエモルギ ティが強固な幕として危機感を包み込んでいるようです。
無理に破壊しようとすれば彼女も無事では済まない。
そんな。
できた。冥王星の軌道計算。やっぱりそうだったんですね。
Damn, that's fast math.
玲子さん、あなたとレンタロウさんは違う一年を生きていたんです。冥王星の公転周期は36,659日。つまり冥王星で1年過ぎる間に地球では100年経っていたんです。じゃあレンタロウさんは
Uh-oh, I think that's gonna piss her off even more. I feel like she's about to crash out. I don't know why.
内側からポジティブなエモルギーを発生させれば外側のネガエモルギーを破壊できたりしない？機器の持つ純粋でキラキラな好奇心ならきっと。
可能性はある。でもどうやって？
想像以上の出来事を見せてあげればいいんだよ。それがキキの大好物だから。
想像以上の出来事。ここにある。
Oh, damn, you do.
とっておきが。仲間への思い。私も答える。勝波流奥義。陣雷神。
Whoa! He's huge! Fuck your mechs! We can become huge! He's massive! That's adorable. See, this is what I'm talking about, this being feel good, you know what I mean? Do it, girl! Shochaku! Love it.
上着。それはギャバンシステム発動のコマンドだ。ギャバリアンセーバー。では上着プロセスをもう一度見て。
That's a dagger. Come on, man.
コマンドを受けて臨界点を超えたエネルギーがトリガー内に凝縮されたギャバリオン粒子と融合。上着。
Whee! I love the electroplay. I don't know why. I just love it so much. Just the entire sequence of explaining how it works, like that gets me, man. I don't know why. It's this weird nostalgia that I really shouldn't have, but I have it. It's so weird. Like, I didn't grow up on the OG Gavan, but that feels right, you know? Come on. Tornado! Swish with it, baby. Swish with it. Wait, what? This is like... Let's plot device this shit. See, I feel that. I feel that. Agi-chan to the rescue. Because you always do that shit. Wait, what? Wait, I'm confused. What just happened here? We're playing Luigi's Mansion. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da.
トルネードユニットと直結して超強力ゴミ処理機能もつけちゃいました。
Must be expelled into the just of space. Fire! Okay, that's cool. That's fucking amazing. I love it.
吸ってみろ。吐いてダメだ。
I wouldn't phrase it like that, Raya! I wouldn't phrase it like that.
ひいおじいちゃんが始めたこのお店をどうしても守りたくて、ひ孫の僕がビルごと受け継いだんです。
玲子さんって本当にいるの？今しょんぼりしてます。
ひいおじいちゃんのレシピの最後にこれが。
夕映えの香りとともに去りしきみ、星見て待ちわぶまた会う日まで R へ。R って
玲子さんとの約束忘れてなかったんですね。
That's amazing.
どうぞ。
It's kind of plot devicey, but when you get right down to it,
いいですよ、玲子さん。体使っても。
you've been carrying that bag around all day.
おいしい。約束の味がします。
Hmm.
ありがとうキキさん。あなたのおかげで約束を果たすことができましたわ。
こんなことになるなんて予想外です。
私がキキさんに取り付くことができたのは、大切な人に会いたいというあなたの気持ちと響き合ったから。
Aww. See what I mean when I said this is a feel-good Toku?
と仲良くね。
Aww.
今玲子さん見えたよ。
言っちゃいました、玲子さん。
やれやれ、誘拐犯を逮捕し損ねたか。これは間違いない。ふんにゃかプニプニ草。
え？
幻の薬草ってミントのこと？
うちの地球にも普通にあるぞ。
Wow, your Earth is depressing.
それ何に使うんですか？
忍者宇宙飯の材料。一粒飲めば1週間食わずとも平気。
へ？
すごい。エナジー倍以上ですよ、こと。
私はこれがあるからいいや。
Wait, you're telling me you can... What kind of fucking...
ただいま。
I'm confused.
2人で1人のギャバン。
A 2-in-1 Gavan, baby.
あとこれ30分で食べないと消費期限切れちゃいます。
本当じゃん。
どうしましょう。
じゃあ後で食べるわ。
ダメです、今すぐ食べないと。
なんで別に30分後ならいけるでしょ。
ダメですよ、お腹痛くなっちゃいます。
騒がしいだろ。
You've been carrying it all day. It's probably already spoiled. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, look, man, I can't fault this show for not having deep lore. I can't fault it because it just achieves this thing of like, it just feels good to watch, man. Like it's just satisfying. Like there's nothing inherently bad about it, like not following through with its story. But like I feel like we're kind of traumatized from what Gozuger did, that we're kind of like everyone's on edge about it. But like this show kind of does it really good, you know? Like I don't feel bad that we're not furthering a story here. I don't feel bad about it at all. If anything, I feel like, again, like every episode is just engineered to give you that warm feeling in your heart, you know what I mean? Which I can't say the OG Gavan was about, but like, dude, it just feels good, you know?
不規則な揺らぎが観測されています。何かの前兆かと考えられます。
揺らぎの発生パターンを詳しく調べる。
了解。
The premonition. It's back!
どうしました？
ただの胸騒ぎだ。
A lot of things about premonitions lately.
わかりました。
A lot of things about premonitions.
次元超越者たちの熾烈な戦いデスギャバン見影鉄心が語る真の目的と世界の裏側大きなうねりは各次元へと及び大乱戦が巻き起こる次回超宇宙刑事ギャバンインフィニティ宇宙の真理俺と恋
Oh, we're finally gonna find out about the universal truth. Hell yeah, brother. Okay. If we're to like take it at the value of what we're just seeing right here, then by all means, that means that I don't want to jump ahead, because every time I say I think we're finally delving into lore, the episode doesn't do that. But that callback to his premonition just feels not strange, but it feels like they're setting something up. And with good reason. You only have 10 episodes left. Like, we're on episode 13. You ended episode 23. Like, I feel like, if anything now, we have to get serious. And it looks like now they're bringing back Death Gavan to finally answer some questions. So, if this isn't like the strongest indicator that lore is afoot, I don't know what is. Because I feel like the lore has just been this thing that they call on when it's convenient. But at the same time, as I said, it's not massive in its absence. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a gaping hole where lore should be. Like we're not jonesing for the storyline. But I think even they have to realize at this point that, hey, we don't have a lot of time. We got 10 episodes to do a freaking ending arc. And I think now is like we're setting it up. Like, it's because if you're gonna bring him back, if you're bringing back Death Gavan, and you're gonna have him de-henshin and like say his piece, that's not a one-off occurrence, my friend. That's got to be a precursor to something. With that, and then on top of the general having his premonition again about the massive battle that's going to break out. Like, I feel like we're setting up for something. Like, this has to be a setup for something. And I know I say it every week that we're possibly getting lore implications here or there. This is the strongest it's ever felt. Like, I can't even begin to like describe exactly like how exactly I've come to that feeling. But there is a how do I put this? But it's just the vibe I get. This is probably the strongest vibe that I've gotten in terms of getting back to the main story that I've gotten in the past 13 episodes, in the past first half of the show. Like, I don't want this to be like, the thing is, it'll be telling what they do after this episode. Because if y'all remember when Gozyuger would have an important lore thing, as soon as it was done, they immediately went back to filler. And I don't think Gavan's gonna do that, but that wariness that has been instilled in us because of Gozyuger is still there. There's still a feeling that, like, man, this could be either what we've been waiting for, or it could be just a waste of our time. But here's the thing. 10 episodes is not enough for you to, like, tell a story in 3, give us 4 filler, and then give us another lore in 3. Like, you can't do that. This is the point where the stakes are turning up. You only have 10 episodes. You don't get to have the luxury that Gozyuger did. Because Gozyuger had that luxury and they fucked it up. Y'all don't get that, because here's the thing, you didn't have like 50 plus you didn't have 50 episodes to waste our time. You only had 23. So that tells me, hey, you ain't got time for this. You ain't got time to be dicking around. Like, we gotta get in there. So in my heart of hearts, I want to believe that they know that, and they gotta wrap this baby up. If not to finalize, at least enough so we can, like, get a season 2 in. Obviously, we're not gonna get it. If we were to get a season 2, it wouldn't be right away. I feel like if they were to do a season 2 of Gavan, it would be next year. Like, I feel like that's the vibe, right? Because they already have Omega Horn coming out in a couple of months. And I would assume that, like, we're not going to go straight back to Gavan after that. Because if we're going down that same formula, that means that we're looking at another installment of Project Red sometime in about November, roughly. We're possibly looking at another installment of Project Red in November after Omega Horn. That's me spitballing. I'm not doing the exact math, but these are really kind of more like anime type stories in Toku format, if that makes any sense. Like, that's what it feels like to me. They're running an anime schedule for a Toku show, and I don't think that works as well. But for what they've been given, they're rolling with it. So my big expectation is that, like, yo, we don't have a lot of time. We've already shit around enough. Let's get back to the issue on hand. And I want to believe that's where they're going with this. Because, quite frankly, like, it's been good. It's been good. This feel-good vibe that we've had throughout the show, like, throughout the show's runtime, it's been really good. But you can't just have a show where you do Monster of the Week forever. You can't do that anymore. It might have worked for us back in the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger days, but, like, this is 2026, man. Like, we are thirsty. We are hungering. We are craving lore. You can't just dangle lore on a stick and then pull it in when it's convenient. Like, we can't have that because we're not fed like that anymore. Like, Zets is literally the best example of how we as fans love lore. So you can't just give us a Monster of the Week format without having some lore implications down the line. You can't just keep feeding us episodic because we're not down with episodic no more. That's not us. Maybe in the 90s we were down with that shit, but not now. It's been 30 years, motherfucker. We ain't doing that. We're not about episodic, like freaking procedural. Every episode is self-contained bullshit. We're not about that. We're here for the story, baby. The weirdest thing to me is that the pacing feels weird. Like, they'll have 4 or 6 episodes straight up filler, and then suddenly plot happens, so I don't know what they're doing exactly. That's my concern. Is that there is... The feeling, though, is that it just feels like the plot is there when it needs to be. Or when it's the most convenient. Like, and that's why I'm worried. Like I love Gavan, but there's still this concern in the back of my soul that's like, bro, this is starting to become very Gozuger-esque. Like it's starting to feel that way, and I'm like, I'm genuinely concerned. But I want to believe that now they're talking about the truth of the universe. Like you have 10 episodes, you can do like, if anything, like eh, maybe a couple of 3 or 4 episodes arc. Then you got the big 2 episode finale. Like I feel like they could do that, but I will admit the pacing of the show has been kind of odd. Like the contrivances are kind of weird, but I will admit the ongoing story for the past few episodes of Rhea building the team that will like face off against this evil at the center of the universe. It's okay. Like it is a ongoing plot line, but I feel like you could be doing more, right? Like they're just analyzing what's at the center, and like they're not really doing. They're mishandling Raya's character. Here's the thing: he looked cool, maybe in his first appearance. In the first episode he appears, he looked like a fucking badass. But then as each episode goes on, they keep making him more of a clown. And I'm like, my guy, you look like this is your first time dimension hopping. Like, why are you so curious about the world around you all of a sudden? You've been doing this for a hot minute. Like, and like, here's the thing. The thing about him phasing through walls was kind of cool. But then they show him doing it when there's a door right next to him. I'm like, bro, you just look like a clown. What are you doing? He does have his badass moments. I'll be real with you. His fucking growing joint he did in this episode, I'm like, whoa, that is awesome. Which like is weird because like that's an Ultraman thing, and they just did it here, and I'm like, that's boss. That's boss. But like he's really goofy for no apparent reason. Right? And then you look at last episode where he's like trying to hump a wall? Like what the fuck? What was that? Like that still caught me like super off guard. And the fact that the episode makes light of that and calls him a wall fetishist, like I can't even with that. Like bro, you made him look like such a badass when he came in. And then after that, you just started clowning on him. Like what is this writing? But like I feel like that just kind of contributes to the overall feel-good vibe I've been talking about. Like, maybe I like that the show doesn't take itself too seriously, but I feel like we're at the point where it doesn't have that luxury anymore. Like, I feel like it needs to be, I don't know, it needs to be, it needs to be focused. Like we are nearing endgame right now, and we're just kind of still playing around. And that's my biggest concern. Like we need to be taking this seriously. They don't give him something interesting to do. They're making him a clown for no reason because he's a ninja. He's supposed to be cool and smart, but no, it's really insane. They pretty much made this guy Naruto light. And I'm not talking like Shippuden Naruto or anything, like OG Naruto light. That's what they're making this guy into. And I'm like, I ain't about it. Come on, man. Don't do this to us. Don't do this to us. Please. Please. But it's like, I don't know, man. I'm starting to think that maybe if you worked on anything but King Oger, I think you should not be working on anything Toku for a while because, just foof, man. Like the only thing they have on here that's from King Oger, I think, is the producer. Everyone else came from Boom Boomger and above, and I'm like, okay, Boom Boomger was at least solid, but like this writing feels very Gozuger-esque, and I ain't about it. Like, I just wish like they would like just give us some more storytelling, you know? Like Ray, like he's still kind of cool, but you're making him a goofball for no reason. Then again, it is Toku, so I feel like maybe that's not why it registers so much with me, because I'm so used to Toku cheese that it's like, I mean, it's par for the course, because I feel like every Toku, I feel like even Zets has those kind of moments sometimes. Like Nem is this sometimes. Nem is just like super goofy, but like only given the situation. Like for example, like when literally Zets went into Zero's dream, she was dressed up in a Zets is it what's it called, a kiguruma? Uh, like she was pretty much dressed in a Zets onesie, and I'm like, yeah, the story is not interesting and inconsistent. See, I'll agree with you on that. I don't agree with the riot part. I mean, yes, I agree that it's rushed, but my boy, they only have 23 episodes. They had to. I wouldn't be surprised if they found out that like halfway through production they were already gearing up for like a 50 episode series, and then they come down and said, "No, we're only doing 23." Fuck. Okay, cram as much as you can into this as much as possible. Like, I don't know, but like it is kind of fucked that like we're not following a narrative line, and it bothers me. As much as I'm enjoying this show for what it is, I have my own issues with it. Like I don't like that we're not directly to the story. We're that like, but that's my biggest one. They could have made a story into a 4-part arc. I think this was the 4-part arc. They introduced him. They had Infinity help him, and then he decided we're building a team, and now he pretty much has his team. So I think this was a 4-episode arc. I could be wrong though. Don't get me wrong on that. Don't get me wrong. I could be wrong, but it feels like this was the logical conclusion, because we needed a way to get Infinity, Luminous, and Bushido working together. And even though like Infinity knows them, they can't really do anything because they can't leave their dimensions. But if Raya is recruiting them because he has interdimensional travel, he must know something, right? That's me trying to fill in the blanks, by the way. That's me trying to fill in the plot hole with whatever I can. I meant about his Earth and the villains that were there. Yeah, they don't really go into depth about it. That's what, and I feel like they don't really, and that's my biggest issue. This story, hold on 1 second. Sorry. This story feels like it was built for a full Tokusatsu run, like a full 50 episode run. So they weren't concerned with the fact that there was filler. Which is why I kind of subscribe to the theory that they only found this out halfway through production and started rushing everything. Right? That's why a lot of the character development, I think, got thrown out. That's why we don't have a lot of scenes about Rhea's Earth. Like, we don't see that shit. It's like there's just baffling decisions here, but not inherently bad ones, if that makes sense. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some really weird decisions here. Some of them, like, the jury's still out on. Like, it's probably going to be one of those things that we look at it and it won't make sense in the grand scheme of things. But there's just some in the moment that just look, why? Like, this feels like the most bizarre means to an end I have ever fucking seen in a Toku. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather. And the fact they didn't explain how his powers work, and he could, apparently just ninja shit. That's what we're supposed to believe. It's ninja bullshittery. That's what it is. It's not explained, and I feel like it should be. You know, I will agree with you 100% on that, Swad. Like, I'll agree with you. Like, a little more explanation into his shit would be nice. Or, like, I feel like maybe they expect us to imply that his sister had something to do with it, but like, unless you outright tell us, we're just kind of in the dark here. We don't know. Because clearly she was working on something, but like, are we supposed to really remember that? She was a one-off character. They only made a passing reference to her in this episode. Like, his sister is not really coming to play. So are we supposed to believe that the sister made that interdimensional travel for him? Or was that from the spaceships? Like, what is it? What is it? Like, there is just so, like, here's the thing. Toku has plot holes. Actually, no, I'm not going to be the first. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone knows it at this point. Tokusatsu is a plot hole ridden landscape. If anything, Zets possibly has zero to little plot holes. But every Toku has plot holes. For what reason? It could be multiple, but I'll agree with you on that last one. It definitely feels like he was there to sell toys and be a nod to Jiraiya. That's what it feels like, because none of these characters have real staying power outside of Reiji. Because they don't really live in our subconscious like Reiji. Reiji is there every episode. He is our through line guy. He is our main dude. We only come back to Luminous, Bushido, and Raya as needed. And what happened to Arkiva? Arkiva, we haven't seen him again. That was a throwaway episode. You gave us a throwaway Gavan? We're not coming back to the Ant Gavan? It's some bullshit is what it is. Like, man. There's just so many contrivances. Like, Bushido, Luminous, and Arkiva, and Raya do not live in our subconscious because we have not seen them throughout the show. Reiji has been there, day one dude, the whole way through. We have no attachment to these other characters. Like, this is why I'm like I'm kind of sad now that they think that they needed to lean on this weird writing. That's why I feel like if anyone was going to write this stuff, it should not be former Sentai writers. Because I don't think the Sentai writers are even aware of why Gozuger failed as much as it did. Infinity doesn't have to be there because the other Gavan can fight. So why is he there? That's my thoughts exactly. That's why I was saying earlier, I was kind of hoping this would be an episode where he doesn't have to show up. Because, like, Raya can handle it. And yet they put him in there. Like, oh, we detected evil. Let's go. Like, he could have sat this one out. He barely did anything. Let's be fucking real. Like, I love Reiji, but my guy, you could have sat this one out. Like, you barely did shit. You just showed up, and like, you were just kind of there in the background. Hell, you even made like an allusion to that when Luminous hugged Kiki and fucking Raya, and he's like, yo, but I'm here too. I'm here. Like, motherfucker, you didn't need to be there. We could have had a freaking an episode of Infinity without Infinity. We could have had that. You would have been fine. You don't need to be everywhere, man. If anything, that should be the thing. There's so many dimensions. He doesn't need to be everywhere. It also goes back to last episode where he was conveniently in the same building that Bushido was in for that workshop because something was going on. He was just there, man. He's the MacGuffin. He's the fucking MacGuffin. That's what he is. They couldn't help this, so he has to be there. He's our front man. Like, bro, you could have easily, again, I feel like y'all could have easily just had him take a couple episodes off. I mean, I don't know. I get he is the interdimensional Gavan. I get that. But that doesn't mean he has to be everywhere. It's just this weird, I don't know if dichotomy is the right word, but it feels like it's the right word. There's just something odd that, like, they feel like it's like that meme of when you don't see Gavan Infinity on screen, everyone should be asking, where's Gavan Infinity? You know? That's what it feels like to me. And bear in mind, like, I still enjoy the show, but, like, I feel like you could be doing more. Like, y'all should have been studying Keiji Oba's Gavan and, like, being like, okay, how do we do this before a modern age? You know? Because I feel like it's kind of missing the point. Like, and you know what? I'm not even afraid to say this. This feels very Sentai light. You know? Like, it's like same shit, different coat of paint. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say that because I am truly enjoying Gavan, but I feel like it could be just doing so much better. I feel like this could be executing on a better level than it currently is. Like, at most, Gavan Infinity sits at about a B tier. Like mid B tier. You know, like, it's not the greatest, it's enjoyable. But, like, if you're coming in here looking for a coherent story and epic, like, lore and stuff, I'm sorry to report, this is a turn your brain off Toku. This is a feel-good Toku. It's not meant to further a plot line. It's meant to make you feel good in the warmth of the cockles of your heart. Like, that's what it is. But, like, to me, as someone who wanted to see the name Gavan come back in full force, this doesn't feel like it. This feels like it should be doing more. And it's not. It's playing it too safe for its own good, right? It feels like they want to do episodic and they change it to serious story, which is jarring. Yeah, the juxtaposition between the two is weird because, like, you'll have, like, the serious lore episodes, like the Black Gavan episode and all that, and then you'll have these episodes where they're like, you randomly called back to the lore. It's weird. Like, the bitch that they arrested in the second episode of the Rhea arc. Like, they was going on, like, with the same thing about the universal truth, and I'm like, that came out of nowhere. Like, there was nothing in that character that screamed, oh, they believe the same shit as Black Gavan until the end. And it's like, that was super random. You know? Like, in the moment, I'm excited about it. I'm looking at it, but looking back at it now, that was just, like, super random. I don't know. Like, this, if I'm being honest, like, one hundo, I don't think this show knows what it wants to be. And it doesn't know what it wants to be, and it was not given enough episodes to explore what it wants to be. So they're just throwing whatever writing at the wall and seeing what works. And so far, the only thing that's been kind of working for them is the episodic, like, episodes. I mean, that's a weird thing to say, but just the self-contained stories from each planet was kind of working for them because, like, at least it knew what it was, but then, like, it teases a lore. It teases a lore that never shows up, and, like, and when it does, it doesn't have staying power. You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. A lot of these characters, we kind of know them, but their motivations, like, towards the end goal are not there. Right? The only guy with an end game aspiration is Reiji. And maybe Rhea with this whole building the team thing, but Bushido and Luminous are just kind of there. You know, like, they don't really have an end game. They're not really working towards something. Like, yeah, Bushido's working towards emotions, but, like, that doesn't feel like an end game thing. You know what I mean? that just feels like a little character quirk for him to have. And then Luminous, like, they're just kind of there. Kiki and Koto are just kind of there, you know? They're, like, not contributing to the overarching thing of everything, and they don't have an end goal. They're just going day to day. So the motivations for a lot of these characters is just kind of at the whim of the writer, which, or writers, which, you know, I'm not going to fault them for not having a deep backstory because, again, we're working with half the episodes of a regular Toku, but, like, shit, man, at least give them something for us to, like, associate with, right? Like, something like their end goal, like, make us see us in them for achieving an end goal, right? Like, and I feel like that's where Gozuger kind of struggled as well. I feel like Gozuger struggled because no one had a true end game, right? Like this one guy wanted to become an idol. This other one wanted to just worship the Zord that he already freaking has, the mech he already has. This one wanted to find her sister, which ended up being a net negative because fucking we don't see when she wakes up. The whole world is reset. And she's just kind of there. The other one just what am I thinking? Crap. Hold on, I'm blanking. The other one just wanted to party, and then our main guy didn't have a wish at all. He was just going through the motions. And then the sixth guy wanted to be God, but when he becomes a god, it's inconsequential. So, the fuck was the point of it all? No one had a true end game goal. And I'm unfortunately seeing the same here. There's no stakes, which is insane. That's exactly. They're supposed to be space police that fight criminals. But you're telling me there's no end game? You have no end game ambition that we can see ourselves in with you? Like, everyone in Gozuger was doing it for frivolous reasons. They were looking for the rings for frivolous reasons. And here, they're not doing it for anything. At least with Reiji, he's on a quest for revenge. But, like, what is everyone else doing? It's still a lot of episodes to write a good story. I'll agree with you on that. But I don't. Here's my thing. Again, this is me making. And hello, Paradise Rock. How you doing? This is my thing. You got people who are experienced at writing long form arcs. These are people who usually write stories that last 48, 49, 50 episodes, and then you tell them you only got 23 episodes. These people are not used to that. And this is not me defending them. Like, motherfuckers, y'all need to adapt. But, like, these are people who are not used to writing something with that little time. These are not anime writers. These are tokusatsu writers. They don't know how to fit lore in 23 episodes. They can't do it. Clearly, they can't. Because clearly, they're struggling. Clearly, they're struggling here. But, like, these characters, and I hate to say this, these guys are superficial. It just feels like they're just mediums to a story, right? They're like, I don't want to say like they're not full on characters. They're more supposed to be like proxies in the sense that they're pretty much what moves the story, but not themselves. Right? Like we're not seeing self-improvement in the characters. We're not seeing them go through trials and tribulations as much. Like literally, when Black Gavan almost wiped out his entire crew, all of a sudden we're acting like that didn't have like massive repercussions. The Chief's arm healed in 2 episodes. Like, we're just not talking about that anymore. Like, the one time you could have built stakes for everyone to be, like, wary of shit, and y'all are just still happy-go-lucky, like, oh, this never happened, but every once in a while, Reiji has a twinge. The Bumbunja writer did write anime? Oh. Okay, then I can't defend that. Like, that's... Like, bro, like... I don't know, man. This just feels like there's so much left on the table here. Like, at its core, it's an enjoyable watch. But when you look at the grand picture, there's just so many plot holes, so many contrivances, so much not done. It was just baffling to me. Catching up, there was an episode where a black hole that happens over Earth, and we just cut back to the gang laughing, and the episode ends. Yeah, like in a containment, this show is an enjoyable watch, but in the grand scheme of things, it's painful to analyze. Because when you start looking at all the missing shit, like, there's no true stakes here. There's no coherency. Literally, the only thing this show has going for it is that it's enjoyable in a vacuum. But if you're looking at it overarchingly, it has so many issues. Like, and I feel like either they address them in the next 10 episodes, or we cross our fingers and hope Omega Horn gets on the fucking right path, because, man, they cannot be dropping the ball. I mean, to be fair, they're not Gozuger levels of dropping the ball, but they're still dropping the ball. So they need to get their act together. These next 10 episodes need to be fucking baller. This is supposed to be carrying Sentai's torch. What are they doing? It's definitely carrying Gozuger's torch. Okay, maybe not to that level, but there's definitely something off, right? And you're telling me this is to build a Tokusatsu level MCU? This is what you're building your Tokusatsu level MCU with? It feels weird. Like, are any of us going to be looking forward to Gavan showing up in Omega Horn? Like, I don't really care. I like Gavan Infinity. Don't get me wrong. I like Reiji, but, like, if he shows up in Omega Horn, I'm going to be like, oh. Moving on. Like, what are we even doing here? And how would you even play Gavan Infinity into Omega Horn, which is literally going to be like a Pokemon for common, like Pokemon. Literally, it's going to be like an own version of Pokemon. That's literally what Omega Horn is. It's going to be a monster catcher. So, how do you bring Gavan in? How do you bring Reiji into that? Like, okay, I'll agree with you, because here's the thing. This would have functioned if you didn't insert lore. The premonition already set it up. The premonition at the start of the series already set up that there's going to be a big battle at the end. At that point, doing that kind of fucked the show, because now at this point you have to have lore, but this show doesn't feel like it was created to have lore. You feel me? Like, looking at it overarchingly, the way these episodes are framed, it doesn't feel like this show was meant to have lore. This was meant to be episodic, and I feel like the lore was a late call. So, I don't know. I will say, for what it is, again, I'll repeat myself. In a vacuum, the show is very enjoyable to watch. It gives you a lot of feel-good moments. But if you step back and look at the big picture, man, it has a lot of problems. It has a lot of problems, which I hope they address. I hope. But considering what we just went through with Gozyuger last year, my hopes are not very high. So I will just continue to try to enjoy it in a vacuum as I have. And then if another glaring plot point picks up, we'll probably go off on another tangent, as you do. But, as it is, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still having fun with the show. But, man, just looking at the series overarching at the halfway point, man, have some balls been dropped. So, I don't know. But we're going to continue doing this. I will be back next week for another episode of not only the Space Sheriff Gav-sudan, but the Kamen Rider Zetsudan, because I will not be doing the show live next week on Saturday. I will be doing the show here as alongside the Gav-sudan. It's going to be a special episode of the Superhero Zetsudan. We're bringing it back, baby. Another weekend of us watching Kamen Rider and Space Sheriff back-to-back, baby. So I hope you guys will join me for that next Sunday. I want to thank you all so much for coming out. I'm going to start wrapping things up here because my voice is about to go. My voice is about to leave this immortal plane. You hear the cracking? Yeah, it's about to go. So I need to start wrapping up because my throat's on fire. I want to thank y'all so much for coming out to another episode of the Space Sheriff Gav-sudan. I will see you all next week for a special episode of the Superhero Zetsudan, where we'll be watching both Zets and Space Sheriff Gavan back to back, as you should, because it's superhero time, baby. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you all take it easy. Let's go ahead on the Twitch end. Let me send y'all over to my boy VTuber Talk, because he's playing some blueprints. So let's go ahead and do that. On YouTube, you ain't even got to worry about it. But on both ends, I want to thank y'all so much for coming in to another show. I will see you guys next week for more Tokusatsu greatness on the Superhero Zetsudan next Sunday. Until then, I am Callsign Henshin, your mercenary with the kicks, coming to you from 2286, reminding you that the future is yours and yours alone to conquer. Only you can conquer it, so conquer it by any means necessary. I love y'all. Stay safe, stay awesome, stay sexy, but overall, stay you. And I will see you all next week. Until then, peace out.